What's up, everybody? Wanted to make this video to discuss with you the benefits of switching over to solar. So starting off this video, landing on my site. If you want to learn more information beyond this video about how to begin your journey into switching over to solar, go ahead and reach out to me. Send me a text, give me a call, send me an email, reach out to me on social media, whatever you'd like to do. So just wanted to give myself a shameless plug there, starting off right out of the gate. But I will go ahead and, which I don't really even need to search this. I just wanted to have something else up in the background besides my site for the whole video. So with that, the benefits of switching to solar. First of all, being able to own and control your own energy versus literally renting it from the utility company. So depending on where you are, financially and what you're doing, you may be in a position where you're renting where you live, which this in that case wouldn't even apply to you because if you're renting, you don't have the ability to switch to solar where you're living. However, if you are a homeowner already, you own your property. Clearly, at some point in time, you made a decision to say, okay, I'm going to own instead of rent, whether you rented before or maybe you never had to rent, you just, ended up owning a property after, you grew up or whatever ended up happening. At some point in time, if you're a property owner, in most cases, you made an active decision to say, I'm going to own where I live versus renting where I live. And there's numerous benefits. There's benefits to both, but there's numerous benefits to home ownership, obviously, which I won't go into in this video. However, that same logic, the same ideology as far as owning versus renting or leasing, having ownership of your actual asset and your actual whatever you want to call it. I mean, this example I'm talking about a home, so where you live, but if it's a vehicle, it's what you drive, or if it's your energy, it's what you're utilizing as your energy. That same logic is what you would apply here in solar, which it makes nothing but perfect sense in my opinion. Over the course of 10 years from now, it's 2023. 10 years from now, 2033, it's a fact that your utility bill, your electric bill, if you're paying for electrical for the utility company the way most people still are, especially in the US, it's a fact that it's going to be not only higher, significantly higher over the next 10 years. Just look at your bill 10 years ago or ask somebody around you to look at their bill from 10 years ago. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out, especially the way things are going with inflation and everything else and rising costs all around. But with that being said, if you have an ownership and a control over your energy, so you invest, obviously you have to come out of pocket, invest into a solar system, even paying a monthly financing in over 20 years or 25 years, you in the end are still going to own a way to produce your own power. So 20 years from now or 10 years from now, even the utility bill is going to keep going up if you're on the grid paying money to the utility company every month versus if you own your own energy production utilizing the power of solar, you have a control over that and your bill is not going to go up because even the bill that you receive from the utility company it's going to go up, but you're still going to have obviously your solar kicking in and reducing that bill down to in most cases almost zero and in a lot of cases even being able to get a credit back even for future use. So having a control over that energy puts you in power, puts you in control. Furthermore, if you combine that with a battery backup system like a Tesla Powerwall, then you have even further control, meaning if power goes out for any reason, a storm, whatever the case may be, if you have your battery backup fully set up and fully charged, then that's it. You're good to go, at least for a period of time until you get, a generator on or power comes back on, whatever the case might be. But even still, even with solar, you don't really need a generator because if your battery backup is fully charged and you have sufficient juice in there to power, whatever it is you're trying to power, then really you don't even need a generator in that example. You just, the sun comes back up and it'll start to recharge the system again. So there's numerous benefits. I mean, to me, it doesn't, it doesn't make any sense as to why we as a country in the US and the world, in my opinion, wouldn't move to a configuration where almost every home, especially single family homes, but I would say businesses as well, but every home switching to solar, and new projects that are being developed, new homes that are going up, beginning to go up with solar panels already installed as a just a standard part of the construction. The same way many years ago, before I was born, central air conditioning was not a default option. In fact, in most homes, especially middle class or below, there was no such thing as central air conditioning until, I would say, probably what? I mean, I don't know. It was before I was born, but I would say probably the 80s. I would say in most cases, 70s, 80s. Before that, if you had central air conditioning, essentially you were living large. Most people, they had, and still even to this day, a lot of people have individual units, in their window or in their wall or whatever the case may be. But it got to a point, however long ago, again, referring back to things that happened before I was born, it got to a point that homes, even small, or not, I don't want to say small, but you know what I mean, middle class or smaller homes, not like a luxurious home, a large home where obviously somebody has the resources to pay for luxuries. I'm talking about homes that are going up for just the average person. Those homes began getting built by default with central air conditioning. Apartments began getting built by default with central air conditioning. So at this point now in 2023, and it's been the case for a while, central air conditioning is just a standard feature in any place that you would look to move. In most cases, again, especially something that's being built. If there's something being built today, a home that's being built, or an apartment complex that's being built today, 9 out of 10 times, if not more, I would say almost 10 out of 10 times, everything has central air conditioning, unless it's like, maybe lower income. And even still, it doesn't make sense, because even at the lower income level these days, the individual AC units are it's a lot more effort. It's a lot more pain in the butt, basically. So the way central air conditioning became proliferated as the default, it was initially a luxury. Not everybody had it, and then it became literally the default as to, if something is getting built today, it has central air conditioning, because why would it not? I think that same logic, again, just trying to translate logic from one thing to another, I think that's also going to begin to be applied to solar, meaning new homes that are going up more and more, I think, are going to just have solar right out of the gate. And I think more and more people are going to, yes, switch over to solar. Obviously, not every single home is eligible for solar, depending on your area, and if you have a lot of tree coverage, things of that nature. Things can always be worked around, but obviously some homes are a little more well prepped for that right out of the gate than others. But the point is that there's tremendous potential and value for anybody looking to switch to solar. They get off the grid, they take control and ownership of their own energy. And in my opinion, they're literally putting a cap on what their bill can go up, and be able to then switch over to their own energy and depend on their own energy. In addition, not to mention, not to get not going to get political in any of my videos or anything, but with certain pushes to switch um, consumer behavior, as far as they're trying to push governments all around the world, not just here, trying to push people, consumers, to switch to fully 100% electric vehicles, not even hybrid, but full electric. That's going to put, in a lot of cases, a big strain on the power grid. Most power grids, depending on where you live, were built over 100 years ago. They weren't even built to accommodate the amount of homes and so forth that people have, let alone things like everybody now driving electric cars that also feed on the grid. So I think as time goes on, it's only going to become more apparent, and it's going to get to the point that it's like a no-brainer, as I said, a few minutes ago, just like central AC. It started off as a luxury, as, oh wow, you have central AC, you're living large. To, it got to the point that now, and it's been that way for my whole life, as far as I can remember at this point. Especially a new project that's like, why would it not have central AC? Like, what I mean? You're not going to build, even if it's a 1,500 square foot 2-bedroom single family home, relatively small home. You're not why would you build it? If it's a new home that you're building today, why would you not build it with central AC? It really doesn't make sense. So with that being said, I think the same is going to begin to be applied to solar. And I think as time goes on, more people are going to be looking to switch to it, which it makes nothing but sense to me. I mean, obviously there's an investment like anything in life, but you're either investing it in yourself or you're spending it with the utility company, which is no investment at all. So with that, video is about 10 minutes long here, so I will cut it off and I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.